All right, and welcome to episode 6 of We Know Sports.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Which this episode should be called We Think We Know Baseball.
we think we know baseball.
We
Yeah.
think we
Let's.
know baseball because who bad is good and who good is bad.
What?
What? No.
What?
I
Go
messed
ahead.
up and I did the bit for the show.
What
You
bit?
did no
I did this for all of you.
What bit? What
I
bit did
messed
you
up,
do?
okay? You can make fun of me.
What
Ha on
did
me!
you do?
We're gonna have to
So,
edit
anyways,
What?
let's take the lead with the Mets.
Okay.
that. What are we
Jeez.
doing?
We're taking the lead with the Mets.
Okay.
And with
Okay.
11 and
Yeah.
5 to start the year.
Yeah. Mets. Okay. Mets are. Let's start with the Mets. Mets are 10-5 to start the year.
11 and 5.
11-5.
Number one.
I thought
Number
we
won
did.
last night.
Number one. Number one. Number one. Number one.
We're first in the
First
division.
place in the
I
NL East.
didn't expect this. Another thing I didn't expect is another thing a lot of people didn't
Great.
You know
expect.
who did? You know who did? Me.
Shut
I
up.
did.
The
I
Braves
said
need
this.
reinforcements. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Starter and
We'll talk about that later, Joe. We'll talk about that later. So another thing a lot of people didn't expect is our rotation to be this good.
David
Well,
Stone,
the thing is, we
respect
just
the
got
player.
word that whatever you call it, Canning is dealing with an
Right.
illness. He'll be out for a short time. He'll take his turn eventually, but
It'll probably only be one jump in the
maybe 2 days. But I've been impressed with him. I gotta say,
Any predictions for
someone
his
who
replacement?
knocked the signing when it happened.
Any predictions for his
I know
replacement?
who I'm gonna be the boring guy. I'm gonna be the guy who says it. It's probably gonna be Justin Hagenman. He's the only guy on the 40 man, and he's scheduled to start tomorrow. I'm gonna be the
Give me
buzzkill. I'm
Brandon
saying
Sproat.
the obvious answer.
Give me Brandon Sproat. It's not gonna
I
happen.
want to play
Give me
Tidwell
Brandon
first. I
Sproat.
think Tidwell's more ready. I am excited for Sprout when he's ready.
I want.
We also
Tidwell would be
Maurice
fun.
Torrens. When Alvy went down, we were all upset. Torrens has just been. When Alvy gets back, Torrens does to be in the lineup either as DH or giving Alvy that break that he needs and letting Alvy DH.
I think me and Maddie talked about that.
So yeah, we talked about me and Nick talked about this last night. I think you ride the hot hand. I think you keep him at catcher.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for Alvy? I have this in my notes. What
I think it's also going to be a good thing to let Alvy ease in.
Joe, no, can I speak, Joe?
Yeah, let-
I actually want to make a point. Because we saw Alvy last year come back from an injury and he struggled. The same thing could apply this year. So I honestly think putting him in as a backup, I think A, it gets him back up sooner because he wouldn't be taking on the full responsibility of catcher and he can take it easier. And B, Torrens is staying hot. Don't bench him if he's staying hot.
I was going to say also just let Alvy DH because the Mets
No.
aren't getting high DH production
No,
right
don't
now.
let Alvy do
Let
it.
Alvy ease back into hitting. That's
No.
my opinion.
But Nick, where do you put him instead?
Where do you put him? You can't have him on the
Hitting.
bench.
You do.
I don't think so. I
That's
think
the
you have to
truth.
have Alvy DH. Let Alvy ease into hitting.
You think
'Cause
Nick? You
the
really?
Mets
think
are also
that-
not getting DH production right now.
I think Joe's right here. I think you put him at DH.
Let him DH and
You
ease
wouldn't
into
too
it.
much as DH, then you make him a full-time DH, which I think is a bad idea.
I think that's a bad idea, but you have to ride the hot
Well, yeah,
hand.
but the
Torrens is
first
playing
week,
so well.
Let Alvy
You
work
gotta
with
ride the hot
pitchers.
hand, but that doesn't mean you turn Francisco Alvarez into a DH.
Well, no, but like let him work with the pitchers for a week when he gets back up. Let him catch them
No.
when they're doing their
No.
warm ups. Let him get
Nope.
used to it.
Nope. He catches like maybe
you can't
2 out of
bench
7 days
Francisco
a week.
Alvarez.
That's my opinion. He pitches
You
like
can't
a third
bench
of the games
Francisco
a week.
Alvarez.
It's Torrens is hot. The pitching has been amazing under him with him calling pitches. You ride the hot hand.
As well as the Mets have done, the Yankees.
I don't think
They haven't been bad,
but
Yeah.
but they also haven't played the best team.
they haven't been as productive as I thought they would have
Especially
been.
after the
Um,
sweep of the Brewers, that was a beatdown.
Yeah, I thought after I saw this that sweep of the Brewers, I heard some of my Yankee fans friends been like, "This team is special. This team is gonna go all the way. This team is
That was a
gonna
Brewers
this team is
problem.
gonna steamroll the entire MLB." Marcus Stroman puts up.
He does
Marcus
not even get
Stroman
through the
puts
first
up
inning
11
Marcus
ERA
Stroman-
and a
He
2
can't
WHIP.
get through the first inning.
The Yankees have the highest starting pitching ERA.
Yep. Highest starting pitching ERA, and everybody said that the Mets pitching was
And
going to
yet
be
the Mets are
horrible.
the little brother, supposedly.
But here's the thing. The Yankees have the most
not
home
good.
runs. Of course, that was inflated by whatever they did to the Brewers. But they're 6-7 since their holy beatdown, I'm going to call it.
Yeah, they. I think part of that is I don't think the Brewers are
Yeah.
playing very well. Like Nestor
No.
Cortez is.
Nestor Cortez is Nestor Cortez.
Nestor Cortez and Nestor Cortez, but
I mean, after the
Uh,
Brewers, you go 1-2 against the Diamondbacks. You go 2-1 in Pittsburgh. You go 2-1 in Detroit. 2-1 versus the Giants, and then you beat the Royals. That was a needed win last night. Cookie looked good, but you have Fried on the mound tonight, so I'm confident in the Yankees' ability.
Fried has looked well.
Yeah.
Fried has looked good.
Outside
has
of
looked good.
Fried, though,
Well, I think everybody.
just besides Fried, that rotation is a question mark. I mean, you do get
They
Clark
get Clark
Smith
I-
back tomorrow. They do.
like that's huge.
Well,
I think.
we're recording this on the 15th of April. He definitely have pitched by the time this goes up, so
Yeah,
yeah, just for reference, if you will.
Yeah, I think their strength has been their offense. I think we had it all wrong.
well, when we first recorded, we had a rotation that had Luis Hill, Garrett Cole, Clark Smith to
That's
start
true.
with.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something else that shocked me in the AL East, the Red Sox.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hold on, wait. I have to say one thing. Trent Grisham has a 1,000 OPS.
The Trent Grisham trade
Grisham
of
has a 1,000
2023 that sent Trent Grisham and a weirdo named Juan Soto to the Yankees.
Don't talk about my boy like that.
Trent Grisham has a 1,000 OPS. Stop the count.
Stop the count!
Stop it! Stop it!
Okay.
Talking about the Red Sox.
Yes, the Red Sox.
How do you lose 2 of 3 to the White Sox?
I
And then when you finally might have the story of the weekend, the guy who breaks up the no-hitter is the guy you traded them.
Is
So-
he actually?
It was the guy who went in the Crochet trade.
Damn, that's kind of disappointing.
I was listening to MLB radio on my way into work yesterday, like, and the ultimate story is that their no-hitter was broken up by the guy they traded. I was like,
wow.
you can't win anything. You win the game, but you lose the weekend.
On the bright side, though, Garrett
Wow.
Crochet looked dominant.
Oh yeah,
He looks
he's
great.
gonna be.
And your first place
They signed
team-
him for
Yeah,
8 years
they
now,
got
right?
him for a long time.
They're gonna have an ace for a good 8 years now. They have to build off of him and Christian Campbell, who has looked
slugging.
phenomenal. for
Roman
his
Anthony's
first-
also he's gonna come this year. They have a future. Devers is hitting finally.
Yeah, the Garrett Crochet.
Finally.
6 years.
He
170
definitely-
million
I mean,
for Crochet.
What did he go?
Oh,
What
for
did Devers go?
19.
0-11
I
for the
thought it was
first. Oh, for 19.
But
Yeah,
we have to
let's
talk
talk
about
about-
your first place team in the AL East.
The Blue Jays?
The Toronto Blue Jays,
Who had the biggest win of the season by extending Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Okay. We need to talk about this because it leads back into something else.
Especially the way Pete is playing.
Vladimir,
But
yeah, okay.
Also, can we go back to
Okay,
Pete?
yes.
I know we talked about the match.
Let's stay with
Okay,
Friday.
wait. Let me do this. So, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 14 years, $500 million.
A lot.
Obviously, Vladdy is a great player.
Right.
But right now, Pete Alonso might mess around and win the MVP. The way he's playing right now, I believe he has the best OPS in the MLB.
I can look. I
Hold
have
on.
it up.
I believe they
OPS,
He-
not OPS.
get the list.
Yes. Third best in the entire MLB, first in the National League.
He's tied for third in home runs. Shout out Wilmer Flores, first in home
Yeah,
runs.
a bunch of guys tied for first. You got Judge, Edmund, Flores, Tatis, Chisholm,
Ugh,
Schwarber, Trout,
Chisholm.
and Tyler Soderstrom. Shock around.
Shout out to Loki for
Yeah.
barking. Loki's making
Um.
his baseball debut again.
He's first. He's either first or second in a bunch of stats. Now, I believe my friend said this the other day. We either have to sign
We
him
do.
now, or the contract is going to skyrocket.
It's Boris. Is even if we wanted to pay him now, his agent is Scott Boris. Boris doesn't do extensions. He rarely does extensions, I should say. But the thing is, Vladdy would have been 27 on the free agent market. Pete is going to be 31, I believe. That is a 4-year difference. Vladdy is about to enter his prime. You were signing Pete in the middle of his prime.
Well, I do want to point something out with Vlad's contract. It did have a $325 million signing bonus, which is a lot. And I did the math. That's an $175 million left to paid out average. You know, there's no whatever.
No deferments.
Yeah, divide that by 14 years. It's about 12.5 mil per year.
But the signing bonus, once again, it still counts towards the luxury tax.
Yeah, I know. But still.
Sorry, guys.
It's the show.
Also, I did lie. I'm sorry. As of last night, the Yankees are your first place team in the AL East. But once again,
I did see they were creeping up on
once
the
again,
Blue Jays.
they have been 6 and 7 since their
That
beatdown.
division, though, is a toss-up right now.
That division is a mess.
Yeah. I mean, it's very early.
If
in
we
the
want to
season,
talk
but
about
still.
divisions,
Let's look at, speaking of how it's early in the standings, the Angels are leading the AL West right now.
exactly.
Yeah,
Mike Trout has been Mike Trout.
I-
That's the thing. If Mike Trout is healthy, he could still win an AL MVP. He is that good still. People forget it. He just has to stay healthy.
I agree with you. He's still
Let me
Mike
look
Trout.
at the Angels. Sorry, I'm looking on ESPN as we're talking, because now that we have Riverside Pro, it lets me see more than one tab at a time when we're filming, which
You
is
also,
awesome.
whatever you call it. Yusei Kikuchi, who they picked up in the offseason. You have Kyle Hendricks. They made
Yes. Kyron Paris, who's on a tear
They
right
also
now.
okay, but they
did
did
also
get to play the White
lost
Sox.
Joe. They did lose Ben Joyce, who I believe was their closer, who throws heat.
Ben Joyce
Mm-hmm.
is electric. Speaking, and then let's talk about the last AL division before we jump to the NL. I have
feel
to
like
say-
there's not much to talk there.
The Guardians have been a little. I don't know. I'm concerned about Class A. As someone who has them in 2 fantasy leagues, I'm very concerned about Class A.
I feel like the two best closers that a lot of people could consider for the past couple of years aren't doing very well this year. Class A and
Diaz had that one bad outing
I had in my notes.
that scarred me.
He's a 7 ERA right now.
Oh.
Diaz is a 7 ERA right now.
Oh God. We'll talk about that more later.
I was lucky. Do we? Does
No,
do we
right?
look
That's
somewhere
Not
else?
After this year,
'Cause
you have to remember.
The rest of the bullpen right now has the rest of the bullpen right now. I
But
believe
when
has
Diaz
a,
has pitched in the warmer weather,
less than
he
1
hasn't
ERA.
been bad, has he? Oh wait, no, my bad. I forgot. Wait, in
He has a
Sacramento.
7 ERA, Joe. The numbers speak.
I'm a little concerned.
The
You know
number
who
the
I do
numbers
want to
speak.
speak of, though? Max Craddock.
What a story Max Craddock is.
Max Krennic has a 0.00 ERA and a 0.20 WHIP.
Also, let's not
Once again.
forget.
David Stern's masterclasses.
Let's not forget Daniel Nunez is on the horizon. So this bullpen will get better.
He's coming back.
That raises the question, who do you send down?
Oh, Danny Young.
Yeah,
You still have your left
Danny
in the
Young.
pen with AJ Minter. Get Minter up and moving around.
that's fair.
Danny Young is not
Danny
even a
Young.
question. He's the
We
only
also
one in
have
that
seen
bullpen I'm concerned
improvement
about.
with Waskar Brazaban, who, besides giving up one home run, has looked really sharp this season.
He's looked a lot better. He looks like the guy David Stern
Especially
traded
Yeah.
for.
pitching multiple innings. He has done it, which is
Last night,
huge
when the
in this
game was so
rolling
close,
rotation where I think they've only had one start where someone's went more than 5 innings.
Kodai Senga, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Kodai
So
Senga's
let's
been
talk
Kodai
about the NL
Senga.
East now. The Atlanta Braves.
I want to start with I want to start with the anomaly of the entire league.
We
The
are
Atlanta Braves.
Okay,
choking.
here's the thing. I think Dero said this on MLB Central. That Acuna and Strider were supposed to be boosts to a team that was already competing. Without Strider and Acuna, is this team legit? Like, they've had serious question marks. I don't know. They're last place.
So, they're in last place right now.
It's the
But
Braves. Until they're dead and buried, I will fear them.
I don't believe they're totally gone. I don't believe they're totally gone until they're dead and buried because Sean Murphy has come off of injury and hit 4 home
Yeah.
runs in the past 5-6 games.
In that few games, I think
He
it's
is,
been more like 10 or so.
I'm probably
But they
wrong,
also
but he is 2 home runs away from the MLB.
they
lead.
also did take 2 or 3 from the Phillies, but then they dropped 2 or 3 to the Rays. So the inconsistency with Atlanta
until
is something to watch.
Well, we saw in one of those games that really was not a showcase because it went into like the 11th or 12th inning or something. It went really late. I think it was
Like
like a
when the
5-hour
Braves have
game or
won,
something.
besides last night and one game against Miami, it hasn't been dominant. All the games have been close.
like you said, until they're dead and buried, I'm not convinced that they because they've still got Strider coming back.
Mhm.
They've still got Acuna coming back. I'm
need
not
Acuna to come
I
back.
convinced.
said it in my whatever preview for the NL East. I projected the Braves at second. Don't be shocked if they do come in second. Yeah.
You still
The
have them there?
Phillies, they've just, I don't know.
Phillies are
They've just been there.
They've
The
been
question is going to be, which we'll talk about with the NL West, could they keep up with an NL West that's that elite? As of now. And will that NL West stay that elite? But before we get to the West, we have to go to the Central.
Wait, hold on.
With
Don't
the
move yet.
East?
Don't move yet. There's more in the East.
Marlins.
I like the
Yeah.
way the
Well, the
Marlins have been
Marlins
playing.
They've not been bad.
The Marlins have been
Yes, they
decent.
can fall off,
Yeah.
but they've been a lot better than they were last season to start.
I didn't expect
Okay.
them to start this well.
They played the
I don't think anyone
Pirates,
did.
the Mets, and the Nationals, and they lost 4 of 6 to the Mets. Their wins have mainly come against the Nationals and the Pirates. Let's just take that into
You
consideration.
can kind of say, I'm going to be completely fair. You can kind of say
Yeah.
that same thing about the Mets. We've played the A's.
The
We've
A's,
played.
but we said we like what the A's have done in the offseason.
Yeah, but that doesn't make them a good team.
We did, but they're still
mean,
the
We
A's.
swept the Blue Jays.
We played the. Okay. You know what? We did play the Blue Jays. We swept the Blue Jays.
Like, that's the thing. The Mets have
Um,
shown more. And then we did beat the Marlins 4 out of 6 times.
Yeah, but that still means we
True.
they beat us twice.
So once again, they put up a fight. I'll say that.
I didn't.
It's
did
the
you expect
Marlins.
them
They're
to put up a
always the
fight?
pest in the Mets side.
Exactly. Did you?
I just
did you
think they're
expect them?
laying.
Especially after last year, after
I
selling
just think
everybody.
that
They also gotta
delaying
win
the
against
inevitable
Atlanta,
Alcantara
you
trade.
realize.
What, Nick?
They gotta win against Atlanta, you realize, too.
They have to. I don't know. I think it's just delaying the inevitable, which will be Alcantara going at the deadline.
What do you think he goes for? What do
Actually,
you think he goes to?
if they keep this up, I don't think he goes at all.
I said that
You
in
did.
our group chat, and Joe was like,
It's the
No, you're
Marlins. They
crazy.
love to ship their guys off for prospects.
But if they're in a
Yelich,
spot where they're in a winning
Ozuna.
position, you have no reason to.
Did they have a reason to trade Stanton? Yelich, Ozuna,
That's
Arise.
completely different, Joe. They're under new management now, and we've seen that with them
They
shipping
are.
off Luis
Yeah.
No,
Is
Arias
Junior's
Junior
not
way
still
there.
too early.
am I?
I don't know. I don't trust them.
Okay, I
The
probably
Orioles,
shouldn't.
though, who were my pick to go get Alcantara,
Joe,
are not
we're in
playing
the
good at
NL
all.
East. We have one more team, and those are our Washington Nationals.
Yeah, Joe, you're forgetting the rest of the.
I was
You're
talking.
forgetting the rest
Oh,
of
I
the NL
meant to talk
East.
Joe,
about
we
Alcantara.
already
My
talked
bad.
about the AL, Joe. Joe,
I meant Alcantara.
and, and. There you go,
The Nats
buddy.
haven't looked great besides taking 2 against LA.
What was that about?
We'll talk about that more when we get to LA.
And also, that one game they lost, it was by a run. Nationals, do they have what it takes?
Uh, I think I don't know if I stick by my predictions anymore. I might have the Mets in
I'm not
first.
getting cocky.
I need to believe it.
I'm
I
not
might
getting
be
cocky.
joining Nick here. But hold on, I might be joining Nick here if Juan
I
Soto
mean,
needs
he had
to
a home
step
run
it up.
last night. Also, I, I, I
I
forgot to
know,
save the
but
stat.
You also see there's a difference in how people are pitching to him compared to having Aaron Judge behind him to Pete Alonso.
he said that yesterday, and I have it in my notes. He said it. He fully came out and said, "I'm not getting as many hittable
And
pitches
he's right.
uh, as I was being hitting behind Pete Alonso, as I
Will
was
Salmon
hitting
from The
behind Aaron
Athletic
Judge."
reports.
Because full transparency, Aaron
Yeah,
Judge
I
is a
also want to
better
read
hitter
the
than
stat
Pete
from Will
Alonso.
Salmon.
That
Juan
doesn't mean
Soto
this
is seeing a
season.
pitch in the heart of the zone with runners on base just 16% of the time per Baseball Savant. Among players who have at least 100 pitches with a run on base, Soto's percentage of pitches seen in the heart of the zone ranks as the lowest. So he's not getting the pitches to mash.
Yeah, because people are approaching how they pitch him different.
And
Like
he's
we
gonna have to
already
get used to
saw,
it.
they intentionally walked him, the Marlins, to pitch to Alonso the other day, which, yes, that didn't go well with the Marlins.
How did that
How'd
work
that
out?
work out?
Exactly. I think as the season goes on, and as Pete Alonso continues, it's going to be a whole different story. Because Pete Alonso is playing at a level we have not seen.
Like we've seen
Well,
it. This is
I
vintage
think we've
Pete.
seen it before.
No. I don't
We've
think.
seen it
We've not
before.
seen Pete
We saw
walk
it in his
this
rookie
much.
year.
He's been much more considered with his swing.
I agree. I think Juan Soto had a talk with Pete and said, "Listen, we got to lay off some pitches."
I
Because he's
I
had
wouldn't go
Soto's
that
eye
far
to an
to
extent.
credit Soto, but he's definitely looked different. And if he can keep this up and be careful with his swing and whatever you call it, keeps hitting not just for home runs but for everything, I truly think he can win an MVP this season.
Also, the past 2 days we've seen from Mark Vientos. Okay, I can say he's looked so much better these past 2 days.
Yeah, he definitely
he's
You
looking
know
struggled
who
with
better
you can't
than
say
the
that about? Brett Beatty. Fraud.
Oh
Fraud.
my God,
Loser.
Brett Beatty, get him off my
Send him
team.
to AAA.
I don't think we need to say
Send
anything
him
else.
to
Let's get him off my
Syracuse.
team.
When McNeil and Alvey get back.
He's
Although
gone.
here's the
Gone.
thing, he may not be gone. Jose Siri.
I don't think the Siri thing has anything to do with Beatty.
Because don't forget, Acuna can play center field.
Do we know the
Not
timeline
yet,
on
no.
Mauricio?
There is no
He
timeline yet.
started rehab, or I think he
Not
is
yet?
starting very soon.
But there's no.
Okay,
But
good.
once again, there's no promise he comes up right away.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't,
I mean, he played well for the
but we
games
haven't
he was
seen
up.
him in a year and a half.
That's true.
Like that injury was.
But could we get any worse than Beatty?
We can.
You want. He's got to play every day. Mauricio is up to fully get back in the swing of it. Unless he shows he can play every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think I want to pivot to the I think the surprise division.
I wouldn't say
Maddie,
that.
we forgot to talk
The
about the
NL.
Central, the 5 seconds we will spend on it. In
The
which
Cubs
anyone,
are good.
if you're not the
That's
Cubs,
it.
Um,
That's it.
the Cubs are good.
That's it.
the Cubs are good. Kyle Tucker hits
There's not much
baseballs.
to talk about.
Kyle Tucker
And,
hits
and you know,
baseballs.
Mike
Next.
Rodriguez's report that the Cubs are starting to explore an extension with Tucker.
Which they should.
Which
Cool. Kyle Tucker hits baseballs. To the NL.
The
If you're-
Giants are good. The Giants are
The
good.
what
Giants
the
are
fuck?
good.
No.
Allow us one.
I didn't use that. I
No.
censored myself.
Joe, that's Joe's. Too bad you did it.
Everyone gets
You
one.
did it, Joe.
Everyone
Have
gets
fun.
one.
That wasn't my one for
Everyone
the
gets
episode,
one.
was it?
Everyone gets one.
Everyone got one. You
Everyone
used
gets
your
one.
Oh no,
The
I'm using
Giants are
my.
good.
Everyone gets one.
I'm using my one later on when we talk about the
Everyone
draft.
gets one.
No, you used it.
No, that was your one. That was your one. That was your one. Okay. Yes, the
Will
Giants
they
are good.
stay good?
How?
Yes.
I don't see them staying good.
How?
Willie Adames hits baseballs, plays defense.
Yeah,
Wilmer Flores is playing good too.
I thought I said Willie Adames is
William Wilmer.
He's an elite shortstop. He just shout out to our boy Wilmer Flores. I saw a clip. Todd Frazier. I posted it on my Instagram. Todd Frazier basically said, "You can't pitch to Wilmer Flores in the ninth inning.
You
Just
can't,
put up the
no.
floor and walk him." Put up you said, like, when I was on the Mets, when I was on the Mets, I was it was in a game against somebody. Wilmer Flores came up to me and I was like, and he was like, "This game is over." Went up, hit a home run,
I want to mention.
walked it off.
Wait, we have to talk about Hunter Green. We have to go back to the Central.
We you're right,
well,
Joe. But let's talk about it in a minute. We have already.
I'm
I'm sorry,
You're right.
because I saw the Giants did lose 2
Joe.
out of 3
Joe.
to the Reds.
Another person I want to talk about on the Giants team, Robbie Ray. 3-0 with a 2.93 ERA. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Will he hold up is the question. Jung Hoo Lee.
Well,
Jung Hoo Lee hit 2 home runs the other day
baseballs.
against the Yankees. You live by the short porch, you die
And
by
then
the short
Logan
porch.
Webb and Robbie Ray, of course, have been doing good.
Well, Logan Webb is Logan Webb.
Yeah, you know Logan Webb. You know Logan Webb is gonna shut people down.
Here's the thing.
He always
Will
do
they
that,
keep this
but
up? I'm going to say no.
Will they keep this up? I think we're gonna have to.
I mean,
we're gonna have
also
to
They're
see.
going to be fighting for the final one.
Now
The first
to,
place team in the my bad. The first place team in the NL West, just like everyone expected, the San Diego Padres.
just
Which,
like everyone
yes,
expected.
That means that the Dodgers are third place.
Losers!
The Padres are 11-0 at home, which means they are 3-3 on the road.
Do you want to know what amazes me while they do this?
Third.
They're doing this with Dylan Cease with a 6.64 ERA right now.
Yeah.
I think that they need to start playing better on the road. They're not going to stay. They're not going to stay undefeated at home forever. They got to play well on the road.
Actually, the only reason I think Cease's ERA is so high, because I'm looking at his other starts, they're not really that bad.
The Oakland Stars.
9 runs against the Athletics.
It was a minor league
9?
ballpark.
Chicago,
league
you give up
ballpark.
2 runs. Cleveland, you give up 1. Atlanta, you give up 3. You give up 9 runs to the Athletics.
Michael King. Oh
Not
my God! Yes, it
genius.
was against the Rockies, but oh my God!
1 start against the Rockies, buddy. Don't.
9 runs.
Michael
against the
King looked
Athletics.
great. Cy Young.
Michael King's been up and down. He got up a bunch of runs in one game. I didn't know who that was
Yeah.
against. A bunch of runs in one game. Who was that against?
Well, he hasn't given up a bunch of runs in one. Actually, what he did, 2.2 innings against Atlanta, he gave up 3 runs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I took him out. I
And
It's
then
been
didn't.
weird. 2.2
Tatis,
innings,
what
3
the
runs,
hell?
five innings, no runs against Cleveland. 5.2 innings, 3 runs against Athletics. 9 innings, no runs against Colorado.
Michael King is good. Next up, Fernando Tatis.
Fernando Tatis hits baseballs. The only
Hits
question is, what
baseballs.
is he doing? Is he
Because of
doing
course he
yes
does.
or no?
I
No,
don't
yeah.
think
I don't. I
so,
don't think so.
but
I. I think he got caught
Speaking
once,
of,
and I
we
don't
didn't
think he's
mention
gonna.
that.
I don't think. Yeah, I was gonna. I was
oh,
just about to say.
oh,
Who did
Jackson
Fred.
Brevard.
who actually played for the Padres last year.
We are
We
choking.
are choking.
We are choking.
I'm in pain.
And you know who was on last season? The San
I am
Diego
in pain.
Padres.
The San Diego
He was my
Padres.
number one outfielder, Maddie, and I thought he was going to be good this year.
I was gonna pick him in my fantasy draft, but I got him sniped from me. Thanks,
Allie
Matt.
and Matt, if you're watching this, Maddie says thank you.
Oh my god.
Wait,
Yes, they just
isn't
heard
Allie
me
going to
go.
have to approve this?
It's
No,
red.
she's in the
Okay,
proof.
moving on.
I
Okay,
just
well,
posted them.
Let's
Allie
move
sees this.
on.
Yeah, back to the NOS.
Yeah.
Back to the NOS.
And your third place, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Not actually. I would like to talk about something. Shohei is not slugging as much as we thought he
What do you
would.
got? I don't think that team is as much as we thought. I just think that team.
I think they'll wake up,
in
but I
general,
think what we
is-
said about Shohei, when he pitches, he's not going to slug as much. He's throwing bullpen, he's working on pitching. He has less time to devote to hitting.
Let's talk about that. Oh,
Is he-
that 16-0 loss against the Cubs.
What
the Chicago Cubs?
The Cubs, who are good,
Who are good for
The
now.
Cubs are good.
they're gonna be good, Joe. I think they won the whatever. Yeah.
I think the Cubs are going to stay good. The Cubs are going to stay good. They have a good team all around. But yeah, they just annihilated them. And I liked Miguel Vargas on the mound, imitating a bunch of his teammates. And he took Yamamoto's
He
glove.
took Yamamoto's glove. He took Kershaw's stance or something. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that was
But
that was
speaking of the
funny.
Dodgers,
I
they
like
have
that.
Tony Gonsolin coming back, rehabbing soon. Kersh is going to start rehabbing this
Tony
week.
Gonsolin. Ooh, Sugary Timbers, Tony Gonsolin. Oh no,
Well,
the league
they
is
do have
fucked.
reinforcements coming, but if the
You're
Padres
calling Tony
and
Gonsolin.
if the
reinforcement.
Padres and Giants stay this good, it's going to be a bloodbath this summer.
You also have the Diamondbacks who are heating up.
Yeah, Diamondbacks took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. They're, but Ketel Marte,
But
that's
brutal.
that's definitely a
don't
big
forget
loss.
these teams all have to play each other a lot, which could hinder. That's going to hinder their
Mhm.
records that they have to play each other
Mhm.
so much.
I think the NL West comes down to
Yeah.
whoever
Like
wins those
the head-to-head
games.
matchups are going to be imperative.
Mhm.
But
Like, let's take a look here.
And then the Rockies, nobody cares about the Rockies.
May 8th, 9th, 10th, you play the Dodgers as the Diamondbacks. May 8th to 11th, actually, it's a 4-game series. And then 12th to 14th, you play the Giants. That's, yes, a month from now. But if things stay the same, it's going to be very important to win those 2 games. We saw last year how important it is to win games against your rivals, whether it's division or wildcard rivals.
Mhm.
Diamondbacks lost that one game to the Mets where they choked at the end of it. They missed the playoffs because of it.
mhm.
Okay, so I want to talk about something else real quick. There was I had this in my notes. There was something that has only happened twice in, at least since I've been recording it. There was a perfect game by an
There was
umpire,
almost a perfect game yesterday
a
too.
couple days ago.
One pitch off.
Almost,
The
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Blue Jays game? Yeah.
Mark Rippiger called a perfect game by I forget which game. I believe it was the Twins
Yeah.
game. Called a perfect game. No balls or strikes
No.
out of the zone, or no balls that were strikes, no strikes that were balls.
Wait, guys, time out. Just
Perfect
while
calls.
we're on the topic. The first NL West matchup is going to be Tuesday, May 29th, 2 weeks from today. The Giants at the Padres.
Do you mean Tuesday, April 29th?
April 29th.
April 29th. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. We're okay.
Oh, darkness,
Okay.
my old
Back to the topic.
friend.
Yeah. He called the perfect game, and I mean a lot of people use that as a
People say these
like
umps can't get calls right. We need robo umps.
I think it's the ABS, not
yeah.
robo
They
Well, yeah.
ABS
yeah
worked during
ABS
spring
not
training.
robo-umps.
Also,
ABS worked
I also
amazing
wanna-
in spring
As much as
training.
I hate
think
umpires
you should-
sometimes, they're humans. Like, we have to remember that.
A lot of human element is a part of baseball. You know why the Mets have their only no hitter? Their only single no hitter? That ball was fair.
We don't
That
talk
was a
about
fair-
Bruno.
Guys,
We don't
it was
talk
a fair
about
ball.
Bruno.
You're gonna get us copyright strike. That's Disney, Joe.
Uh-oh, Mickey Mouse is gonna come for me.
It
I
was
do
a
want to
fair
mention
ball.
something.
Okay,
as well.
it was a fair ball.
I want to mention
It was a
something on the
fair ball.
topic of umpires. That call in the Phillies-Giants game, that was obviously
Yep, I was about to say that. That was the worst call. That was a Angel
That
Hernandez level call. And you don't see JT Realmuto pissed much.
I'm not a
But
Phillies fan,
he was
but the Phillies
very
deserve to have
justified.
That call over. Now that's
Hang on.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I'm gonna watch it right
there-
now. What the?
You can't see the word.
What the?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
that's live reaction.
That was
That's-
like 5
that's
feet
the reaction
outside
anyone-
almost. Not 5 feet, at least 2 feet though.
Red
Yep.
as hell right now. He is burning. Maddie, can you just edit like steam kind of coming out of his ears like a freaking teapot or something? And
I probably
Like,
can. I
how?
probably can do that.
That can't be a real call.
that's a real call.
That is abysmal.
That's a real call.
That might
No,
be the worst call.
There was also a call in the Mets Athletics
ball.
game that got the Mets a run.
That was not
The
a
ball,
ball.
the
That
ball
wasn't
call. That Gary Cohen called out. We love unbiased announcers.
Gary Cohen called out why was called a ball. I mean, a ball. He said it wasn't right, but he sees why.
Wasn't right.
No, it wasn't right.
At least
but-
Gary explained the logic. I
yeah.
can see why the guy was wrong. Though.
On the topic of officiating, the NFL fired a bunch of officials
Blow on the Chiefs 26
a couple
Super Bowl
weeks
campaign.
ago.
Huge blow. Chiefs are without those best players
The
right now.
Chiefs just lost a bunch of their roster.
Salute to the
Did
Chiefs.
anybody see? I didn't see
I actually
why.
know one of the guys. I think it was like one of the head guys. He was responsible for, I don't know one of the plays, but the other play. It was the play in the Rams
Pistol in the
Vikings
Chiefs.
game in Week 7, I believe, where Donald called for a safety and he wasn't.
Oh, so
Yeah.
so it's just incompetence. Okay.
It was people
Okay.
who couldn't do their jobs. If you can throw up a clip of that in editing, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll
I
be
could,
seeing
I
that.
could probably do that. I'll throw up a clip.
Also-
of that.
Not good calls by these refs, but they're getting.
Wompity wompity womp womp womp.
Speaking of NFL and rules, we are officially we're getting rid of chain crew. Well, we're not getting rid of them, but they're becoming.
Getting rid of the. I didn't hear about that. We're getting rid of chain
they're
crew.
using it electronically now.
Also,
Wow.
the tush push.
I'm mad about it because people are like, "Oh, they're doing this to cater to Josh Allen because of the first down call." It was a first down call in the game, and you're saying the cater. No, I'm sorry. It's because you're literally rigging this stuff. It appears rigged, and they want to clean up their game so they don't look like.
Okay,
the
Bills fan.
Chiefs.
Bills fan alert. Bills fan
Do not look at
alert.
that and tell me that play was not a first down. You cannot tell me.
Listen, Bills fan. It was called not a first down. Although they got 2 first downs, neither were a first down.
That's exactly my point. That's my point.
And then, speaking of
Yeah. Joe, you were talking about
Tush
tush
push.
push.
Oh, that's another thing. Tush push. That I am ashamed to be a Bills fan for, Coach McDermott.
Yeah, they brought it to basically court and
But
wanted to
it
get
got
it banned.
Suspended.
they're gonna actually do it this summer, sometime before the season. If it'll get banned or not, probably not. But
It's never gonna get
it's
banned.
it's just theater.
The Bills could
We
use
do
it.
use it.
You have one of the biggest
Oh,
quarterbacks.
idiot head coach does not realize we have the second best quarterback in the league for it.
He dum.
Who's the first best quarterback? I don't think Hurts would be the first
saying
best
Hurts
quarterback
because
for
he's
it.
the one who.
No, because he's the one who gets away with it. Like he does
Yeah.
it. That's why. Speaking of
Yeah.
the NFL, the draft is
mean-
9 days from today.
Yeah.
Draft is coming up.
Shador Sanders falling off draft board.
Yeah, the Shador Sanders plummeting. Thank you.
Honestly, I have a really funny prediction about where he can go. What's
What do
one
you got?
team that would draft a quarterback purely based off of name value who has fallen down from the higher picks, who would make no sense
Dallas.
for a team to take as quarterback?
Dallas.
There it goes, baby.
Dallas.
He's not gonna fall that low.
I could see it now,
Unless-
Matty.
Unless they
Now.
trade up and they're absolutely that stupid to.
But Joe, I can see it now. A QB room consisting of Dak Prescott, Joe Milton, Shador Sanders, Jonathan Mingo, getting a touchdown from all three of those guys in one game. It's gonna be electric, Joe.
Brandon Shottenham.
Electric.
Okay, but if that happens, Shottenham might get fired and be replaced with Sanders in like 20 seconds.
Who?
Like whatever you call it.
Joe Schottenheimer doesn't make the calls for that. That's Jerry Jones.
No, Deion Sanders is gonna replace Brandon Schottenheimer in 20 seconds.
Brian
you noticed?
Schottenheimer.
Neither of you noticed?
Jerry Jones is senile. Okay, but this is
saw
breaking
you
news.
do nothing on your camera. I was like, Maddie's awfully quiet, but I'm gonna continue on my Jerry Jones.
From Rap Sheet, though, intrigue at number 3. The Giants plan to work out former Colorado QB Shador Sanders privately on Thursday.
Would you be mad if we got Abdul
I think it's a
Carter?
great pick for you guys.
I wouldn't
Because
be mad.
I think it would be a great pick.
I want Travis
But
Hunter.
we were talking about this before. Kayvon Thibodeau basically being used as trade bait now, because we lost Ojulari to the Eagles for nothing, but he was always injured. Like, he was great, but he was always injured.
I don't know if Thibodeau is
Like-
going to be traded. He's not going to be used to move up to pick 1. We're not getting Cam Ward.
Yeah, no, we're not.
And
We're
he's
not
not
getting Cam Ward.
To
he's
be
Ty-
honest, I like Carter and I like Hunter better than I like Ward. I don't want to waste the pick to trade up to him.
yeah,
I don't think.
No,
the Browns
we're not
take
getting
whatever.
Cam Ward.
Do you
I
think
don't-
the Browns take a QB though?
I think they might take Abdul Carter
no.
to pair with whatever you call it, Myles Garrett.
No, I think they take Travis Hunter. I think that's the best move for them.
That would be a nuts rushing.
But who's
pair,
going to throw to Hunter?
But I think whatever it's hurt.
Who's going to throw to him? They have nobody.
Carter has not been the best with injuries though, and that makes me nervous.
Maybe they have
But
someone.
yet again, it is the Browns, so they very much could do that.
But who is going to throw to Hunter?
Yeah.
Clearly, Joe Flacco, legendary 2023-24 Browns QB.
Like, that's the thing. Just build your defense for the future at that rate.
Yeah, well, they're going to try to go for Arch Manning, and what do you know? That's our strategy.
If I'm the Giants,
Oh, go ahead.
Well, the Manning will be. The Manning is
will be
promised.
fulfilled.
The Manning will
I'm
return.
not a part of this.
shut up, Bill.
Everyone is cheering that the Dolphins will be parting ways with Jalen Ramsey.
We're not done with the
Jalen
draft
Ramsey.
talk yet, Bills fan. Quiet.
Let me be
So,
happy about something.
Let's talk amongst the
Hi,
panel.
Paley.
Let's name the top 3 picks, going from 1 to 3, that we think is going to happen.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
I'll start. Then we'll go Maddie, and then
okay.
Nick, the totally unbiased one.
Well, I feel like for number 1, it's going to be the same thing for all of us.
We're all gonna say it.
The
And
Titans are
Yeah.
taking Cam Ward.
The Titans are going to take Cam Ward.
As
Titans
much as
are
he
taking
should
Cam
not be the number one pick, it is, sadly.
I
It's
think
never the
that
case,
I
yeah.
do think the Browns go Abdul Carter, and then I think the Giants get Travis Hunter.
I think they're gonna take Travis Hunter, even though they're gonna have
Exactly.
no one to throw to him. I think his potential is
Exactly.
too great for
But
them to pass up.
I think
He is
that
And
the line.
I know I don't want
like I'll
them
be
to
happy
take
with Abdul
Travis Hunter.
Carter,
I want them to take
but
Abdul Carter. I can see why
I
you'd think
think
they
for
take
that
Carter
team he's
because
a better
Carter
fit.
plus Garrett. Carter plus Garrett is
Like,
a
That
great
raises the
rushing
question
pick.
then.
Carter is a better pick for that team.
That raises the question then. Do you think the Giants, in a panic, try and trade up with Cleveland?
No,
I think they could, though.
I don't think it's worth the potential.
And if they do,
They're
what
not
do
going
they
to give
give
the
up?
number one pick next year because there's a very real chance they're at number one next year.
You'd
With how
probably give
bad
up
they're
your
probably
second
gonna be.
rounders, you give up some stuff for that.
Is that where we give up Thibodeau to get the picks to trade up to one?
I don't want to give up a second rounder because you might
Dart
get
and
Dart.
Miller out. Here's the thing: do the Giants use their second round picks? Because they have 6 picks in the top 105, I think.
I think Milrow might
Milrow
be a
and
first
Dart might be
rounder
first
right
rounders.
now. His
Do the
draft stock
Giants trade
is
up to the late
skyrocketing.
first round to try and get Milrow or Dart?
As like a fallback in case we
'Cause
don't
here's
get
the
I'm
thing.
gonna
Manning.
be honest.
With having
Maybe.
Milrow sit a
Yo.
year behind
Okay.
Wilson and what's his name? Winston? I forgot. That's how bad I think this team's gonna be. Wilson and Winston might be able to teach him some stuff to have Milrow start next year and be a good QB. Nick, what were you gonna say?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't care who the Bills take in the draft. Either take a wide receiver or just don't trade with the Chiefs.
Okay, so at what point of the night do the Bills trade with the Chiefs? Because the Bills love to shoot themselves
That's
in
it.
the foot.
I said the
I'd
word.
say about 2
I
hours
use
in.
my use.
The
2
Bills
hours
shoot
in.
themselves to the foot all the time.
We do.
Yep. 2 hours in, and the Chiefs are going to get another speedy wide receiver that's going to beat the Bills in the AFC Championship.
Like every mock draft I see
I
besides one,
love co-hosting this podcast. This is my favorite thing to do every time I don't have class. I love it here, guys.
You love it.
every mock draft I
You'll
see the
love it.
Giants are taking Hunter or Carter.
But yeah,
It's
those
gonna
are
be
the two
Hunter or
big
Carter.
picks.
But generally I think that both pairs are gonna be good. I just think pairing Neighbors and Hunter is a great combo.
Nasty.
Like
Whoever's
that's the
guarding
thing, you can also win with whoever
Right.
Yeah.
if you pair those two.
him.
'Cause
Yeah.
especially the back too.
All right. So. Yeah. So I think
Before we
I think
close it
that's
out, I
good
have
for
one
now.
thing
We're
that I
about
want to talk
50
about.
I
minutes.
have one thing.
Well, two
What do you
things
got?
that
What do you
I
got?
want to bring up Tyler Shaw, or however you say his name. He's gone viral. Maddie, you can put this in post production. Matt.
Yes, I have the.
I don't know
I can
what's
share my
guys. You're
screen.
gonna have to inform me here.
We talked about it before.
This was the.
I'm gonna go on mute. You guys will not hear me talk because there is a noise outside my room.
So we saw this. Me and Joe saw this. Or no, Joe saw this and sent this to me and Nick.
And then to close it out, we
I
gotta
believe
talk
my
about
yeah, my
some
screen is shared right now.
basketball.
Oh, this guy! You told me about this guy.
That's
And ooh, that is one of the worst throws I've ever seen.
and this is at the combine.
That's at the combine. I don't know where he was projected to go, but I'm sure his draft stock just tanked.
And then
Okay,
closer.
and basketball.
Knicks. Go
No.
New York, go New York.
Nico Harrison said that he does not regret trading Luka.
you idiot!
Yes, I'm sure the White Sox.
How do you say that?
I'm sure the White Sox GM says the same thing about trading Tatis. I'm sure of that.
How do you say that? You don't regret it. Yes, you regret it. You will regret that for the rest of your life. You were an idiot.
He was supposed to have the statue.
How are you that stupid? You were dumb enough to make the deal, and you're not smart enough to take responsibility? You are probably getting fired. Or you should get fired, but it's the Mavs. They might be dumb enough to beat them.
All right.
I want to say something actually.
That's gonna end
I wanna
off
say
the
something before we
episode.
do end. Congratulations to Rory
What?
McIlroy on winning his.
Rory
Rory
McIlroy
McIlroy.
winning the Masters. Yes, after
Congrats,
14
Rory.
Rio
years.
Grand Slam.
Or 15
Congrats,
years.
Rio
Rory.
15 years.
Grand
You deserve
Slam.
it.
Good for
Yeah.
him. I figured we should
Yes.
mention that.
Okay, that'll
We'll be
end
back
us off.
next week to talk about the draft in
Yeah.
more detail, the
Yep.
latest storylines, and all that
Before
jazz.
we go, yeah, we know sports.
Yeah.
We know
We know sports.
Yeah.
Oh, and congrats to Ovechkin. We didn't mention that. Congrats.
Oh, yes, we didn't mention that.
we
Congrats to
Congrats.
Ovechkin.
You are etched in history forever. Congratulations. All right.
Yes, Islanders.
Now, we'll see you next time. Bye.